if you ever tried explaining biodecoding at the dinner table, you already know it's adventure. Half the table smiles politely, the other half wonders if you joined a cult, and someone inevitably asks, so it's like therapy or energy healing, or the thing where people tell you your liver is angry. And then that's the moment when you realize this conversation won't end with a dessert. If you are first time here, my name is Agnieszka Kozak, but you can call me Aga. I'm a practitioner of total biology, recall healing, or as I like to call it, biodecoding. And here we decode the poetry hidden inside our symptoms. Biodecoding, also known as recall healing, or sometimes called total biology for modern times, is one of those rare approaches that refuse to sit neatly in a box. It's part of the living lineage. First came German new medicine founded by Dr. Reich Gerd Hammer, the roots from which everything began. Then came total biology, followed by its clinical sibling, biological, expanding how we understand the link between emotions and specific organs. From total biology, later evolved recall healing and biodecoding, approaches that made the science more accessible, more practical, and definitely deeply human. So, if you are looking for incense and chanting, you're gonna go be deeply disappointed. But if you're looking for definitely a logic, biology, and a bit of courage to see your own story clearly, then we are in the right room. Let's start with what biodecoding, recall healing, total biology isn't. First of all, it's not a psychotherapy. Thought it might look like it. Yeah, that's definitely a chair. That's definitely isn't a book, and definitely is a conversation. But instead of how do you feel about that, you will hear something closer to when did your body start saying for you? Where not analyzing your childhood to fit the theory, we're tracing the threat to the moment when the body stepped in because words failed. It's not about the mind talking to itself. It's about listening to biology. The exact instant emotions froze and chemistry took over. In other words, we don't interpret reality. We study how to body record it. Secondly, it's not a body work, at least not that kind of that start with touch. There is no random poking, there is no theatrical hand waving. Biodecoding begins with conversation, with awareness, because before you can release something through the body, you have to know what you are releasing. But that doesn't mean that the body stays out of it. On the contrary, it's essential. Many practitioners, myself included, combine the work with body-based methods, for example, like acupressure points, meridians balancing, polarity shifts along the governing channel, even techniques like EFT, reflexology, or therapeutic massage. When the story becomes conscious and the body joined the process, results come faster and getting much deeper, and is definitely cleaner. So yes, we work with the body, just not on until it's ready to be touched. Because awareness is the first touch. Thirdly, it's not an energy work. Yes, everything is an energy, technically, so is a toast. But biodecoding isn't about sending mysterious rays into the ether. We're working with currents you can actually feel, the biological kind, the electrical rhythm between memory, meaning, and matter. Think less cosmic light show, more neurology meets honesty. Fourth, it's definitely not the witchcraft, and it's not a guesswork. Real magic isn't in spells, it's in insight. That instant when someone connects, the heartbreak they never mourn, with the skin rush that refuses to heal. That alchemy, that's alchemy enough, don't you think? Biodecoding is building on decades of clinical observation. It's a methodical, not mystical. We don't play charades with your spleen or throw Latin words at your pancreas. We look at what happening when it started and why it make perfect biological sense at the time. Fifth, it's not a digging for the sake of the digging. People sometimes think that we spend our days exhuming ancestral trauma. We don't. We're not archaeologists with shovels. We translators. If something's from the family line, it's still vibrating through your life, then yes, we definitely looked. But once the pattern is understood, we let the past rest. The job is done. And when we do touch the symbolic, dreams, sleeps, metaphors, we do it in a way Carl Jung intended, not as a fortune teller, but as a language. The unconscious speaks in a symbols, and the body speaks the same dialect. A broken bone, a stubborn infection, a cyst. They are all metaphors written in the tissue. We just help you read the story before it becomes a trilogy. Sixth, definitely is not evangelism. That one is very important. Biodecoding isn't a gospel, and it's definitely not the suppositories to be pushed on everyone. If someone hasn't asked, we don't deliver. Insight without invitation isn't a help, it's an intrusion. You know, that friend who diagnosed everyone at the brunch? Yeah. Just don't be that friend. Because the body is open only when it feels safe, and unsolicited wisdom is rarely safe. And the seventh, it's definitely not for everyone, and that's exactly why it works. Let's be honest, not everyone wants clarity. Some people preferred tidy answers and soft cushions. That's fine. Biodecoding isn't that kind of comfort. It's for the ones who sense the body has been trying to say something and are finally ready to listen, even if the message stings. We are not here to promise miracles. We are not here to restore coherence between the story you tell yourself and the story you have been carrying, that take honesty, curiosity, and small dose of rebellion. Now, let's talk about what biodecoding, recall healing, total biology is. It's definitely a conversation between your logic and your instincts, between a science and that poet inside you, between the part that wants proof and the part that already knows. It's where biology, psychology, and storytelling meets. Your body isn't betraying you, It's keeping the score until you're ready to understand the lesson which is behind the pain. And once you are symptoms stop being enemies and start being translators. A panic attack becomes a message about the separation. A rush becomes a cry for a connection. And a tumor becomes a story of survival told in cells. The body is never random. It's strategic. It adapts. It compensates. It remembers. Biodecoding teaches you to hear that intelligence without drowning into the fear. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's very logical, but it's not cold. Scientific, but never soulless. And it's surprisingly funny at the times, because when you finally see the pattern, you can't help but laugh. You realize your body's been whispering the truth for years while you've been arguing with the Google. That's why we say biodecoding is theoretically for everyone, but practically for the few who are done decorating their cage and they are ready to open the door. If you want entertainment, social media has endless scroll. If you want spa level peace, there is a plenty of scented candles for that. But if you want understanding yourself deeply, clearly without the glitter, and those which they know me, they know that I love glitter, then maybe, just maybe, you belong here. There is no promise of internal bliss, no badges of healed. What you get instead is clarity, that kind that speeds you. Because once you learn your body language, you can't unhear it. You start seeing connection everywhere, in your relationships, in your choices, your teaming, even your car breaking down the day you said, I can't take this pace anymore. It's no a coincidence. It's coherence. So yes, biodecoding is for those who rather understand than escape. For those who can laugh while unrevealing. For those who knows truth stings before it shoots. Everyone else, bless them, can keep their comfort. Well, we'll be over here decoding. And if you enjoy this story and want more, more about reading the body signals, decoding emotions, and finding your way back to healing, then make sure then you subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and tell me what resonated with you the most. Because this is the way we can keep discovering the fascinating secrets of total biology we call healing, or as I call it, biodecoding, all together. Thank you for listening to me, and see you next time.